Hello and welcome once again to What's Going On. I'm Arcturus and we're here on the Forerunner survey bringing the latest in what's going on in Watcher of Realms. As ever, this is a community-based podcast, so please do remember to share, hype, like, and subscribe. It really does help grow the channel. Today, we are joined by Mystical, who is kindly stepping into the co-host seat while Sebastian is enjoying Thanksgiving. So happy Turkey Day to you crazy Americans. And we will be talking about some of the things which have happened this week, which in all honesty hasn't been a lot, and what we think we might be seeing as a result of what has happened. So, Mystical, thank you very much for joining me. It's a pleasure to have you on.
Pleasure to be here, mate. Thank you very much for having me.
Okay, so I think the key thing to talk about this week, which is pretty much the only thing which has happened this week, is the discussion around Lady Mina. Obviously, the devs have actually finally come forward and said they've received all the feedback relating to Lady Mina and falling short of expectations. They then come on to talk about a completely fantasy team in Anti-Air Arena, which they believe is effective, which involves Ivar, Erlang Shen, Count Dracula, and Jiao Chan. First of all, in Anti-Air Arena, you don't want to be holding up the units. You want to be killing them as fast as possible. So if you're using Lady Mina for her immobilized and maybe getting out a few physical things to hold physical vulnerabilities, you're probably not going to win, because every team that tries to use Mari to that effect generally gets beaten because the unit is held up in the wrong location and then they all lose. So nice idea, might work in very low tiers, but if you are pushing a Overlord, Apex, Plat 3, and even Plat 2 in some cases, I don't think it's a realistic team. And to say that you need Ivar and Erlang, who are both ancient exclusives, when many players don't have either of those units, that's just a kick in the teeth to a lot of players. So I think that was a miss.
Got a sore point for you, know.
I have both. I have both, and I use both of them. But to say to some players, oh, in order to make this limited, very, very rare unit available, usable, you have to use her with these two units. So I just think a bit of poor taste there from the devs, and they do it time and time again. Anyway. But they have heard the feedback relating to Lady Mina's performance, combining skill mechanics, combat role, and they're going to evaluate and provide feedback. This is good. I think it's very, very positive. And they haven't given any details, but the key point is that the devs have come forward and said, we messed up, we haven't met expectations, we're going to make this right. And this is what I was saying when people were saying she's not performing well in testing. And I said they need, before the end of the event, they need to come forward and say to everyone, this is okay, we're going to fix it. And this is good, they've done that. So props to Moonton, good job, good comms. But a bit more clarity would have been good. And I think it's fair to say that if we just hop over to Matrix and have a look and see some of the top teams, especially on the Bulwark side, the Spellbane side, are starting to use her.
There's one there by now.
Yeah, there's one here. Yeah, Spellbane. So this is a sort of a classic team here.
What's world rankings doing?
Global, I've seen higher scores than this. I mean, this is obviously Forerunner, so it's not
just our guild.
It currently is just our guild, but hang on, we've got here. So Bulwark, Lady Mina,
Lady A, yeah. There she is there.
Yeah, so 20. There's someone doing 29,000, but I saw one, and I'll post a link up here. The picture up here of a Lady Mina Northerner team, which we're doing very, very well, and I think it had about 40,000. But it is possible to get decent scores with her in the team, but you do need to be running Ardia, and they were running, I think, a Lubu as well. So there are a certain combination of things that you need to have to make it work. And that's fine. And oh, look, there's actually a Gwen there. That's interesting. That must be a hell of a well-built Ezrein in order to get through to be the highest HP unit in that team. With a 52k and Elder Lord. So that's 15% on top. Wow. So that's but anyway, it's great to see Gwen being used in Matrix following her buff. And I was saying last week that that's, I think, the place that she's going to start shining. But yeah, she's definitely got viability in Matrix and she works really well. The problem is that for every time she's not doing her ultimate, she's pinging for 10 to 10. Yeah? Her rage cap...
10. That's it.
10 per hit. And even if you get her attack speed down to 1 second, which is perfectly doable, you only need about 350 speed on her. Yeah, that. Then you're only going to be doing... her rage cap is too high to therefore make her useful. To do anything really, really effective with it to get the most out of her. And it's a really weird situation because let's dive into her skills and have a look at her, because basically she's a unit has many things going on with her. So here she is, Lady Mina. And so first off, she's got this blood sigil thing, which is her special attack, and she fixed slow, which is great. So she's slowing units as it comes out, but her basic attack is only hitting one unit. It is hitting one unit unless she does her passive with the enhanced basic and hits an AoE attack and does vulnerability on them. But that's 25%, which is a decent amount. But she's magic damage, and she's doing almost no damage. But during her ultimate, she's got this range at this is her A0 range, which is a big circle.
Weird range.
Weird range. It which doesn't it's kind of the Boreas range. And she switches her damage type from magic to physical, which is great, especially in Bulwark Matrix, and you can really make that work. But the problem is that for that to pay off, that rage cap needs to really be halved to really get a lot out of her. And yes, she gains crit damage from having the bond skill with Count Dracula, and she gets 50% damage attack increase from allies on the field, the strongest ally on the field. So she can get a decent attack amount. You can easily get her up to... So on this build, let's just pull up her gear. So on this one...
You have to play her with a rage regen unit then?
I think so, yeah. I would go for that, because you can either go like... Well, you could swap this for an attack speed piece and try and like just go speed cycle, but even then you're only going to get down to like 0.8, 0.9 at best. At this sort of attack speed, the amount of speed increase you need to go beyond 1 second is quite significant. So you're better off like building her for more survivability. So what I've gone for here is a good chunk of HP and substats, because that base HP is incredibly low. I've gone for as much attack as I can on all of these. Built my crit rate, and I've gone for a Warlord set to get more attack and get more attack speed on her, just to try and keep her up. So the ultimate stats is around 25k HP, 11,500 on the attack, 1 second interval, and 300% crit damage. So she's obviously going to be getting up to about 320% crit damage. Yes, you're going to be above that when she's in her ultimate.
I haven't
with a
looked
strong
for a
ally on the
long
field.
time. I haven't
With 10
looked for a
seconds.
long time, and I doubt anyone else has. But
Yeah.
out of interest, a right-hand side piece, how much flat attack does it give you? I haven't got any because I ditch all
I
money.
haven't got any.
Is there any in the market?
Probably it's 1096, I think. It's HP.
Nope.
That's a wrong set.
Left-hand side.
Ring. Healing effect.
Heck, you're not going to get one now.
No, I'm not.
I'm curious because her attack is so low. Would flat attack get you more attack than attack percentage?
I seem to remember people having this argument about the WoRs back in the day, and I think people.
But it's been so long since I've had a piece that's had flat attack on it. Oh.
Yeah. Oh, here we go.
Here we go.
Vitality amulet.
Come on then. Now we can get rid of some gold for you as well.
Wrong button. Sorry.
Maybe they've done this just to make flat attack have something in the game, yeah?
Nah. So this is a T1 piece. So at the moment you'd be looking at just 1,000 and something attack for a tier 2, tier 3 piece.
Okay. So no, it would be under then, won't it?
It'll be just under, but it's
bit.
pretty close. So depending on the substats, you might actually come off better for going for it.
But who keeps them, as we've just seen?
Yeah, exactly. Nobody keeps them. This one certainly isn't worth keeping, especially on fatality. So yeah, and it's because you're not going to start wasting Malric enhancements on a flat attack piece anyway. So, and that's what you need in order to push it above an attack percentage piece.
Yeah.
So you can get a reasonable build on her with the current standard gear and maybe 1 or 2 enhancements along the way that would be useful on other units in other areas of the game. But the trouble, she's just such an awkward unit to use effectively. Because the vulnerability she puts out is between 2 and 3 seconds, which is not a very long time.
No.
And at most you're doing 30% extra damage with and one ally on the field gets to do bonus damage to that unit as well. So it's really limiting in the way that you can use her, especially when you've got everyone's favorite epic who can do both types of damage to units. Has a
keep it up all the time.
75% slow as opposed to 25% slow. Her ultimate, it's a same range ultimate, and
the freeze is longer.
It's forcing. Okay, this is fully awakened. So at A3,
but she's an epic. How long does it take to awaken something?
No, exactly. I mean, her base stats are very similar. I mean, there's 300 more HP on Mina, and 500 more attack. That's about it. 450 if I'm being sort of brutally honest. So you're not like talking about massive amounts of attack difference between these two units. So yeah.
You're not expecting to attack with Mary, are you? I mean,
no.
You are using her for that CC, but she's an epic, and she's remarkably good.
Yes.
Absolutely fantastic.
And,
but it does create a problem when you're trying to build a legendary that you would think should be better than the epic.
Exactly.
So is she trying to fill too many positions rather than be good at one?
Yeah, I mean, so Fastidious did a video a couple of weeks ago, and I'll stick the link down in the description on everything that was wrong with Lady Mina, and he pretty much
a long video.
It is a long video. It's about 40 minutes long, and it goes through a lot of the problems that are clearly there, and if one of the things he does point out is the fact that she does have this weird hybrid phasing that she's trying to do, whether she's trying to be a CC unit, but she fails in being a CC unit because her basic attack only targets one enemy, and occasionally every 5 attacks she does the AoE attack to up to 5 enemies. Okay, 5, but that's every 5 attacks. That's every 5 seconds on my kit, where I've got a pretty decent build on her, and it's okay. As I said, 25. It's a 50% slow, so she's not as effective at slowing as Mari, and Mari is attacking 3 units, and Mina is only attacking 3 units if you get her to A3. So he's just a weirdly constructed unit, I think, is the crux of what we're taking away from this. And yeah, it's very difficult to justify, to sort of support this unit in a lot of ways.
Who do you ditch to take her?
In what content?
Well, she's now being seen in Matrix, isn't she? I mean, that's probably easier because there are so many other units being used everywhere else. There's sort of 20 units you've got to get through. So is she the 20th unit you've picked?
Yeah, so I mean, let's have a look at some of these teams in Bulwark. So what it seemed to be doing is leaving out the Diao Chan from the teams that are making use of her. So they seem to be going for...
Whereas Diao Chan being used in Bulwark and then she's being used in Spellbound. Spellbane.
I still find it really irritating how the names seem backwards.
Yeah. You'd think spell, that's magic. Yeah,
exactly. So yeah, I mean, there's no Diao Chan used in that at all on either one. So they're using Beelzebub there in Bulwark, but they're not using any inspiration unit in Spellbane. This one is not using any inspiration unit in Spellbane, and they're getting 25-ish K. So yeah, I think Diao Chan is the unit who's coming out instead, which is well, because I think last week then my team, which is not significantly different to some of these, I was getting about 20k on Spellbane. So
okay,
before I was throwing, and that was with Diao Chan. So it's a compromise to pull, but that was kind of like I didn't have placements quite right. So there's definitely improvements I can make in terms of the overall performance of the team. So
yeah.
But yeah, she's starting to appear. Definitely, I saw some teams on Global who were making good use of Lady Mina, but I think it's Diao Chan who's taking the hit in terms of making the grade.
Okay, so she'd be the one that's gone. Okay, be interesting to see. So, I mean, is it a good thing that they try these things with heroes, though, as opposed to just going down the same old route? I mean, let's be.
So the last time they tried this sort of unit, the last time they brought out a unit who was legendary with this sort of range, and it's been a while, but people have probably forgotten about her because they don't like her. who is this lady right here. So Carosa, let's have a look at her base stats. 9,000 HP, very, very similar base stats. Attack, very, very similar base stats. Attack range, very, very is identical. Attack interval, 2 seconds. So this is clearly something that an archetype that they're trying to work with. Okay, and in terms of Carosa is designed to be a control unit where she's throwing out these arcane realms which provide vulnerability to enemies who are hit in this arcane realm, and then receives AoE damage over time. Now, I know no one's going to do it, but you could easily use Carosa in the bulwark form of Matrix to do a very, very similar role to Lady Mina, because she's applying vulnerability the same level to a number of units. She's she gains damage attack over time from what she's doing, and it's easy to get her up to around the same sort of stats, but she's slow in escalating because she's got this cap thing going on, and every time she summons an arcane realm, she increases, but it goes up to by about 35% overall. So she ends up around the same sort of place, because you would always run her with the Lord. And you could use her as she's a summoner, but not a summoner, so you can't really get the most out of her with the current summoning teams. But it's that same idea. This is something that they've been trying to work on for a while. And again, every 5 seconds that they're trying to do, every 6 attacks here, so it's 5 attacks on Mina for the AoE attack. The similarities are similar. So it's a 15-second attack, ultimate when she's doing something here.
Well, they had to give her a unique passive, didn't they?
They gave her a unique passive.
My head's in the way, isn't there? There it is. Boom.
Yeah. So it's a 6% to all mages. But actually, if you think about it, look at these ultimate stats. So 700 in attack, ultimate rage, and a 15-second interval time, and that goes down to 600 when she's fully sealed up. Compare that to Mina, who's
at 900
900 and a 10 seconds. So vanish now. He's sulking on me. So here we go. So Lady Mina is here we go, 900 and a 10 seconds.
Yeah.
So I think that there are some similarities in what they're trying to do, and Durza is another one with this sort of attack range, but Durza doing Durza things where he's providing a lot of survivability to units as they're getting lower in HP, so he's doing a lot of ally buffs while he's doing it, so his support role is very much more defined. Whereas Rosa and Mina are more on the offensive side, with a little bit of control thrown in there, and that's fine. But neither of them have really hit the mark with the community. And rather than just throwing these units at the content creation and the player base and saying, here are these units, make it go with it, they need to be a bit more forthcoming, I think, in what they're trying to do with them. So that people don't feel quite so cheated. Sorry, go ahead.
Are they worried about her? I think it's her second passive, isn't it? Are they worried about the scaling from it going forward? Because she takes attack. Was it 40% attack?
50%. Yeah. So
you can book it up to 50, can't you? Is that right?
40. Yeah, it's up to 50% of the ally with the highest attack on the field, which is one of the reasons
worried about that scaling
is so low. Yeah, I think so. Are
they worried that we're going to create another lady on the horse who
Valara? Yeah,
Valara, that's it.
Yeah.
So are they worried about creating another one of her? And then people thinking, well, actually, I don't need Valara. So why am I spending money on your game if I can actually get a top tier hero for free? which is essentially what you get. And let's be honest, they are trying to make money. And if they give everyone a top tier unit for nothing, is anyone going to open up their wallet to buy the next great ancient hero?
Yeah, and I mean, we know there are more units coming because Lycan was noted in the Dracula previews earlier on, and then he appeared. And we know from the dev interviews that there are more units coming, and they've made specific reference to the Northerners, so we know there are more Northern units coming. And let's be honest, that's a faction which could really use some buffs in terms of its performance. Gwendolyn's just had a massive update, there've been some tweaks around how HP adjustment is going to work. So we think that there's something coming in that's going to adjust allies' HP stats going on. So we know there are new mechanics coming. We know that there are new ways of playing the game, and we're going to need different units. But this game the player base has always disliked these support units. They've always gone DPS, DPS, DPS. And if you look at a classic tower defense game, the freeze control units have always been vital to doing a really important role in controlling the flow of the game. And I don't know why we can't get them to work in that same way within Watcher of Realms.
Well, because I always use Decimus. He costs nothing. He's back in 15 seconds, and he stops everything for about 8 seconds. So unless you can get a freeze going on for 8 seconds, you're better off with the Decimus.
But he can only block up to 3 units. So
yes,
it depends what you're trying to do.
4 with the artifact on.
No, because his base block is 2. So with an artifact on,
it's 2. Sorry, yes, it might be. Yeah.
Now, obviously, the other guy to come into the game recently is this guy. If you talk about units who block and do crazy things, you could obviously use him to hold up a flow of units and then drag them into where your DPS are when the area behind him is cleared up. But he's a bit crazy in the fact that he allows enemies to do more damage to him while he's being attacked. So
yes, very weird.
But it's trying to be Jira but not Jira, and
yeah. I wonder how quickly, when they get this right or they miss something and one of these new heroes with these weird mechanics is massively overpowered, it takes for them to nerf it and go the other way.
I think it is a real fine balance, and we've seen that it's very easy for them to get it wrong because they absolutely do not want another Boreas situation. So Boreas, when he first came out on Global, he was massively overpowered. And they had to scale him back, and they had to make big groveling apologies to everybody. And they don't want to do that because that loses them players, it loses them money. So they've got to try and be more cautious. But she's just so weird in her damage scaling. This A3, where she suddenly starts hitting more units, should be based into her base kit. We were saying before we came on that if Venoma, that's what they did to Venoma. They made her base attack target 3 units. That would at least put her on par with Mari. And then in one of her awakenings, they added more targets.
A5, I think it was, yeah.
Yeah, it was A5. And that's what they should be looking at doing with Mina, if they want to do anything. But at the moment, they seem to be in this mindset of a unit cannot be good until A3. And yet they want us to spend money. I get it's a business and they have to try and do stuff. But it's really disheartening.
She should fill a hole at A0 to start with. I mean, look at Van Helsing. I mean, he's awesome. A0, brilliant champion. I wouldn't say he's overpowered and allows you to do things in the game that if you didn't get him, I don't think you've massively lost out. I don't think you're at a huge disadvantage.
Yeah.
But at A0, he's really solid.
And people are saying that
solidly good.
A1, I think, is comparable to an A5 Nyx. I mean, that is saying something for a unit who is with his artifact, admittedly with his artifact, where he's doing the extra 4 method, so he's able to cycle his skills that little bit faster. But yeah, he's a really interesting unit. So and Count Dracula is really, really good in Arena, and he's working really, really well there. So it's really
I'll start to see him come up more and more. Yes, yeah,
it's really disheartening when some of the units that they've released are really, really good. And I think Vlad is going to be really good in certain areas of the game. Probably in Maverick Halls, where you've got limited units and you need him to be doing people moving around to compensate for the fact that you've got limited units, that he's going to be really good. And of course, he's an extra tactician, which means he's really good at helping you in Tide. So anyone who's struggling to push their BP on Tide, build your tacticians, because they will help you push Tide. And getting him as a tactician would help me push Tide 200. So yeah, and
he's free.
And he's free. Absolutely. Got about 24 hours left to get him at the time of recording, so good luck.
Get the rig along, yeah.
And then you've got Lady Mina, who just is very, very good in one area of the game, but she just feels like she's half-baked. If she was physical all the time, she would be more consistent in her damage output and wouldn't be so peaky. If she had a higher base HP, she would have better survivability, and people would be more inclined to try and use her. So, yeah. If she targeted more units, she'd be more appealing. If she cycled her ultimate was cheaper, she'd be more appealing. So, yeah. I mean,
what do you want? Do you want one of those or all of those?
I think I'd like 2 of them.
2.
I'm fine with the low base attack because she does this damage scaling, and she's getting so much attack from her allies, and you can.
And with power creep, that 40 to 50% will become stronger and stronger.
Yeah. Yeah, so you can't really give her too much more attack, I don't think, because that would it would start going crazy. So, I mean...
Now, if Northerners get a way to change HP, will that affect it, do you feel? Do you think she'd be more playable there?
I don't know. So, I mean, so 15%, so under a Lord... So let's just do some quick sums here. So you can probably get that to about 27k without too much challenge here. So that's I've got some enhancements, but no HP based enhancements on her at all. So you can get to about 27k HP. You probably want around 30k base HP to survive in any in-game content. So she's not too far away, but if she was comparable to another mage, for example, I've got Ingrid right here. Her base HP is 13,000. Why can a legendary mage not have that as the basic level? 13,000 on Demi, who's another legendary mage. So let's just pull up a couple of legendary mages.
Well, they're both lords, right? Let's have a look at a straight up legendary then.
And
there we go.
10,000.
10,000. Okay. Who was limited? Who was limited as well?
Yeah, okay. So, I mean, Nocturne, he's got crap HP and he's really, really squishy.
And he's old.
Shamir is 10,000 and he's got really high magic resistance, actually. So, bear that in mind. Briss, 10,000.
10.6. 10.6 seems to be quite normal, doesn't it? That
yeah,
seems 10.6. 10.6.
Yeah. So 10.5 really. So if they want to make,
I'm loving him at the moment.
He's doing really, really well.
Finally.
Yeah. So between 10.4 and 10.6, it seems to be a reasonable number on the HP front. 10.8. So Bria is another weird one, but who does all sorts of funky things. 10.4, 10.5. So there's her HP.
There's room there.
There's room there without sort of being game breaking, and that extra 2,000 would probably really help with her survivability.
What do the devs say in the notes that they're going to do? Do they say what they're going to do? They say they say what they're not going to do, don't they?
I think I pretty much say they're not going to increase her. I can't remember where I said it, but I did remember reading somewhere that they were specifically not going to increase her attack.
Yes, I'm sure I read that as well.
But they just basically say they've increased her mechanics and role to evaluate a more stable direction for adjustments. So basically, we're going to take some time and think about it and make it balanced. But I think, if they start adjusting her attack, then that's going to be problematic because, as you say, it's going to scale back. It's going to scale and scale and scale based on the kit she's got.
Yes.
And I think that in terms of what she can do, she would just become overpowered. I mean, she'd be able to sort of solo clear waves as things were coming out. She'd cycle her ultimate, bam, the entire wave evaporates. I think locking her ultimate to every 2 seconds. Okay, so there's things that could be done.
That locking of the ultimate is a bit of a pain. I don't really understand that, to be honest.
It's probably because they didn't want it to be too overpowered. So in certain environments, that could be really, really... So if you think Wave 7 of Anti-Air Arena, if she was cycling that every second, you'd have those 4 little wormy things coming out. They fly into her range, bam, evaporate. The next 4 come into her range, bam, evaporate, and again and again. So that's probably what they're trying to stop, is her being too overpowered by having too much strength on that front. But it just means that she's... at the minimum, you need her Wave 1, because you've got her... That range then comes down, that interval comes down to about 1.6 seconds, which makes it slightly more manageable. But even then, you're maybe only getting an extra attack out in that 10-second time. But I think if they could bring her rage cap down to be similar to what it is on Carosa, to around 700, I think that would help an awful lot.
Bumping HP up to 10.6.
Up to 10.6. And make her fully take that damage type and make it physical or just plain piercing.
If she's doing both types of damage, do you think she should be able to put both types of invulnerability on? The same as Mary?
Yeah. I think if you're going to go down the route that she's doing both types of damage, she should be putting out both phases. But maybe then they were worried that she would be too powerful in the Bulwark form, and people would be exploiting her there. I mean, I'm building her, and likewise I'm building Van Helsing to get them into my Matrix teams because I'm interested to see what I can do with them. But as it stands, they're a long way from being ready. And I need to check that none of this gear is being used by my other Matrix heroes.
Major. Yeah, because it's not a matter of just quickly swapping one hero in with a Matrix, is it? That's 20 sets of gear and heroes locked, and that's it. It's
Absolutely.
a complete. Yeah.
I mean, you basically need about half an hour to an hour to do the gear setting, because I've basically run out of gear slots. I don't know about the rest of you. To have those gear sets saved ready for doing the Matrix. So,
but one-click team swaps coming up, yeah.
I doubt that's going to solve the problems. But anyway, so I went out to the community who on Discord, and I did ask them what they thought. What were things that could be done? So if I can find the right window. No, I completely lost it. Here it is. Right, here we go. So I asked people what they wanted from a Lady Mina rework, and basically they were talking about increase her better range with a 3 target basic at A0. It's absolutely, and then maybe make a damage increase at A3. And I think that's what.
So with range, then, is that just moving her back one tile then?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's exactly it. So making her the classic mage, classic piercer range. I say classic mage. Making her the Vierna and
Vaughn. Vaughn?
No,
no.
The new summoner. But
yeah. Lease.
The lease range. So something like that, making her range like that, giving her the 3x3, the 3x4 range to make her that sort of damage type. But yeah, the classic message here is that her A3 should be in her baseline kit, and completely agree with that. And yeah, buffing her I understand why they don't buff her base attack, because they don't. But yeah, and here's a suggestion that they rework her exclusive to give a damage increase instead of an attack increase, instead of 2k base. Now, what I'm not clear, I haven't had the time to do the testing, is if the attack actually scales during the ultimate, because it's based on her attack at the time of attacking.
Or is it calculated at the moment you put her on the field?
Exactly. If it's calculated at the moment she's put on the field, then it's useless. But we do know that there are artifacts which activate at certain points in the game. So if it's scaling when she goes into her ultimate, then that's brilliant. It works really well. But if it's plain damage, then obviously that's after the damage reduction calculations are done.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know. I think some more investigation needs to be done on that one, because there's clearly a thought process behind why it was attack and not damage. So I think it is designed to scale with her ultimate.
Oh dear, that's very nice. I would be less trusting.
Well, you know me on this channel, I tend to look for the potential positives in what they were thinking. I don't always get it right, but I try to focus on what the thought process is.
Not the reality, yeah.
Not the reality.
Yeah, A3 again, yeah.
A3.
More
Someone
HP.
else saying more HP. It's not just bad damage. Her stun locking the enemy is huge. Her A3 being A3 makes no difference. Increase the base HP, reduce the borrowed ability to attack. She doesn't rely too much on Ardia. Okay, that's fair enough. There are other units you could exploit with her, but that's fine. Change the basic attack type to physical. Yeah, I'm fully on board with that. The damage boost on Mark's sigil is rubbish. It means placing the highest attack unit together with her, very restricting to make full use of its potential. and just gives a damage boost to one borrowed unit from a lower value. A bit like the Count Dracula thing, kind of like has to be within 2 units, but they don't have to be attacking the same thing as him. They can attack their own thing. So basically, somewhere on the field, she could say, that's my Blood Sigil unit. I'm going to choose them, and they can do their own thing. And that will just do bonus damage as a result of having these sigils. But yeah, okay. She has less base HP than an epic marksman. She dies if someone looks at her funny. So they're the good comments I was getting from my community. And I think that's a pretty good summary of Lady Mina. I think she's a unit with a lot of potential, but it comes down to the fact that control units like her aren't particularly well liked within the community because the trade-off in terms of DPS and overall score at the moment is too penalizing. We're better off bringing another damage unit in than trying to bring her in. One of these support units in. It's too big to make it worthwhile bringing them in. Now, that's something that the developers can work on. Absolutely. So, yeah, I don't know how they go about that. I don't know how they think about exploiting that or making the community more aware of it or adding in some more buffs like the Carosa buff so that these support units have extra skills to encourage you to bring them in. That 6% damage increase on Carosa in a matrix where you're bringing lots and lots of mages and lots of magic units suddenly look very appealing. So that's something that the devs could look at doing. Make these support units have unique buffs to make them more exciting to bring in.
Yeah, they've got to bring in. You've got to be able to do more damage with her than swapping her out and bringing in another DPS. That's essentially it in a nutshell.
Absolutely, yeah. But I think that's possibly, I think that's kind of the point, that you've got to, she's got to add more than she's taking away, and she's definitely adding more, but in one area of one part of one content. But even then, people are saying that she's got very low survivability, which makes her difficult to use. So an extra,
you've got to have HP percent as your substat all over the place. Yeah,
absolutely. So I mean, I've built this with percent HP everywhere or flat HP everywhere to try and boost her HP up as high as I can. The only exception is this piece because I just wanted that extra piece of crit damage on it. But you need HP or percentage HP everywhere to try and get her to a survivable level. And I've done that at the expense of rage regen. And as Mystical's been saying, that one way of building her is going high rage regen, so that she's just constantly spamming her ult. She'll do no damage, but she will at least be able to do. Or maybe what I should be doing is lowering her crit damage and looking for more rage regen pieces. Because obviously on her passive, she's able to gain 20% of the crit damage from the current ally, the highest attack on the field. So yeah, actually, she doesn't need that much crit damage. So I should be lowering that crit damage and looking for more rage regen.
You'd have to work out how much crit damage is on your
Ardia or whatever.
Ardia, yeah. So where's your Ardia then? How much crit damage has she got or attack got then?
So let me just.
Is she geared up at the moment?
She's not geared up, but I mean I can throw on a quick build. So Ardia, let's go for. I think I know which one. This one. So something like this. So this is possibly a bit high HP, but it's got some survivability in there. It's got plenty of attack on there.
Right, so you would get 50% of that attack.
Yeah.
So you're getting 15.5k attack?
Yeah. On to the base 11k I had. So that would be take her up to about 26k.
26, okay.
And I'm doing that every second of damage. And okay, the crit damage on this build isn't great because this is just a scratch build.
That's another 50% on there, though, isn't it?
20%. So, and then Mina would be doing skills. Blood sigil should be doing 30% extra damage.
Okay.
So that's got too much HP on it because then you're risking running into what it is. But it's that sort of build you'd be looking at, I think, for Ardia. I mean, she wouldn't drop to her low HP, so you'd be having to rely on the Elder Lord buff, where she's getting more attack when she's shielded. That might influence.
It starts to get quite complicated then, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, and that's where
you're now starting to have to build a whole team just around her.
Exactly. I mean, Gwendolyn and her shields are absolutely insane. I was easily putting up 112k HP shields on the entire team who were in range. And then you're looking at Elder, who's giving out his shielded allies doing 20% extra damage. And then I think there's one or when his allies gain this during the ultimate, so his talent is deal damage equal to 30% of the current shield strength. She's putting out massive shields. His percentage attack is then going to go up by 30k or so if she's putting out 100k plus shields, 33k damage, which is quite a lot. That talent is then getting shared to all of his allies during the ultimate, so you're going to be wanting to build a very fast regen Elder because you want his talent up rocking all the time. But yeah, I mean, there's things that you can do, but you're really going to be into the min-maxing of the northern build, and that's before they bring in any more northern units to play on this field.
Then what's his ultimate? What's his
his ultimate
800.
Yeah, 800.
So if hers was 820 seconds, you could align them really well.
Yeah. But as it stands, with her being 910 seconds, that you can't.
They might align really well that way. Yeah.
Maybe. But unlikely. I mean, she is able to cycle her ultimates really fast. So Gwendolyn's a great unit. Previously, I would not have advised people to chase her. Now I will. Especially with
she's got to be available in the Frostfall, hasn't she?
Absolutely. I mean, I said it a couple of weeks ago. And so far, I'll just say this again, that I have been bang on for both the Elder rework date and the fact that Gwendolyn was going to get a buff. So, just saying, guys.
Okay. Well, it took me 6 months of pestering the devs to actually honour the Venomer buff, but there you go.
Yeah. But they did it. They've given her a rework, and a lot of people, and people are using her now in Matrix. And I'm looking to work out how I can get her onto the field. So it's going to be interesting. Valara under Venoma in that team is going to be really vicious. I can even drop Beatrix onto that squad as well. So, plenty to play with there.
Yeah. So she's got to be up for the next limited banner. They've given her this major rework, haven't they?
Absolutely.
And I think Northerners are going to be it for the Frostfall event, aren't they? Very seasonal.
Yeah.
Lots of snow and ice. Yeah.
Yeah. You don't do a rework like this one on Gwendolyn and then do nothing with her. Something is coming. I
know some people on the last Chosen or Pick Your Own Limited were debating whether to pick her on the proviso. Yeah. They thought, I don't have her. I bet she's going to get a rework at some point.
Yeah, but the same could be said of Reeve at that point, because Reeve has been doing nothing for a long period of time, and he's not even been in the cycle for a long period of time. So I think he's good at what he does. I think he needs more survivability to really do what he does well. But
yeah.
But yeah, I honestly, I think I would not have advised people to pick her up before this rework. Yeah, definitely now he's worth getting.
Did the shield always scale off HP and
healing effect?
And healing effect, or is the healing effect new?
So, one of his. There you go. King Haas gets healing effect by skilled increases at A5. So
King Haas received healing by 100% if he's shielded. Okay.
So and there's and he's constantly boosting his shield strength. So. And his shields do scale with healing effect.
Okay.
So and he has pretty strong shields. So.
So is there a tie-in between healing effect and HP then, or is it just with shields?
I think it's just shields. Because I know people have done things with Vortex as well. I don't think Vortex says anything about his shields converted with healing effect. Increases the healing multiplier by 45%, which is kind of like, it's not quite healing effect. It's a different part of the calculation.
Something we'll never see.
Yeah. So yeah, but healing effect does work quite well on shields.
Might have to play around with that a bit more. Have a look into it.
Yeah. Yeah, and any unit which has any baked in healing, such as Malvira and Astriel and Vlad obviously are going to benefit from having percentage HP on them healing effect on them anyway. So
Gluttony.
Yeah. So there are plenty of units which can make use of it.
Anyone if you've got a Volker on the field.
Indeed.
So you're not supposed to be in that mirror.
It's supposed to be a portrait. So if you come to the skill description, it isn't supposed to be a mirror. This is supposed to be a picture. It's a painting that he sent to her, and it's supposed to be like follow the eye. Its eyes are supposed to follow you around the room. That would be great if it actually, did follow him around the room rather than disappearing.
He's not in the picture.
He's not even in the picture. I mean, I really should raise this as a dev feedback point, because
I must admit, in the last dev insight, the last comment was, if you're going to use AI, please make sure they've got the correct number of fingers, because Vlad has 6 fingers, didn't he? 6 fingers. Well done.
6 finger Valderon.
Yeah, there he is. I didn't even notice it. I was like, let's have a look. Oh, yeah, so yes.
I thought people were complaining about the fact that the cane was like being magically
it's just floating in midair. Yeah,
but I mean, I don't know. I just thought maybe he's using magic, but no, it was the 6 fingers that was the problem. So
he might just be dropping it.
Yeah, but drop.
Yeah.
But to be fair, I mean, Balderon's a demon. Who said he had to have 5 fingers? I mean, maybe the modelling game is wrong, and he should have 6 fingers. So...
that wasn't their answer, though, was it?
No, it wasn't. It was no. We screwed up. I mean, they should have just gone for that. You're right. We need to add an extra finger on the Balderon model. I mean, that would have been the better answer.
We never noticed the model didn't have 6 fingers. Yeah.
Oh yes, yeah. We're sorry. But yeah, I mean, it's.
So how long have they got to do this buff then? Or give some feedback about it?
I think they need to come up with... I think they've got about a month. I think they've got to Frostfall to really let people know what the plan is and what direction they're doing. And they can even say, this is what we... I think this is, again, another one of those, we need a roadmap. They said, okay, we screwed up. This is our plan to fix it. But we're going to be doing thorough testing along the way to make sure that she doesn't end up being game-breaking. And even then, they can come back and say, do you know what? Our initial testing is showing that she's still too powerful. We're still having to work on it. And it's not going to be out as soon as we hope. And maybe that's what they're worried about. Maybe that they're worried about putting a date on the board when they say they're going to be done. Because...
I think most people would be happy if they put a date out and then said, all this stuff's gone wrong, we're going to have to shift the date, then fine, you have to shift it. I think most people will be aware that life happens and things do go on and dates do get moved. It wouldn't be such a bad thing, but they could at least say, here's a date we're going to give you an update on, look out on official notice boards or whatever, and we will just state where we are. We've had a group meeting, we're having a look at these are the things we're having a look at. We will update you again in a month's time or something, and then it's a constant feed. The issue I think they have quite often is they say things like this, and then for the next 6 months you hear nothing. And you're like, well, hang on, you said
you end up with another Vinoma situation. Yeah,
which was all my gripe was, realistically, is they said we're just picking a date. Well, hang on, that was 6 months ago you said that. What you need to do is tell us when that date is.
Yeah, exactly. Right. I think that's probably a good point to draw a line under it. Thank you very much, Mystical. Any final thoughts as we're wrapping up?
No, I think pretty much covered. Personally, I like the fact that they try new things, even if it's a miss. Happy that they actually try. Hope they keep doing it. Eventually we'll get one that's a big hit. I think that's a lovely thing. I think it's nice they have listened. Maybe took a little bit too long before they came out and said we are going to have a look at a rework. I think that could have been done sooner, and I'd like to see more comms from them to say this is what we're doing. Like you say, a roadmap maybe to say this is how it's going to be. But other than that, and the picture is terrible behind her. But
you don't have to buy.
Other than that. I haven't. I prefer, to be honest, I think I prefer her other skin.
I don't mind. I think both are pretty good.
Yeah, but she's good for Ascot there, isn't she? She's all right for Ladies' Day in Ascot. She is well away for it. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't quite get the veil, but yeah.
You get the added bonus stats though, don't you?
Well, no, you assume you're right. 0.7% HP is going to make all the difference.
You wanted more HP, don't bite the skin.
Oh no, it's no HP. It's 0.7%.
Oh, it's defense
and defense. Yeah. And if it bid HP, maybe that's where they're going wrong. Anyway, that's it for Wars Going On. We'll see you all in the next episode. Bye bye.
All right then. Dra.